Getting rich. Most desire it, few achieve it, but in the end, we all turn to dust. So how exactly can you become rich? This is such a taboo subject in a world where no one likes talking about how much they make, how much they spend, how much in debt they are. I'm the exact opposite. Now, before I tell you how to get rich, it's only fair to present my credentials. I'm Sebastian Escueda. I run a series of e-commerce businesses. I run a marketing agency. I also have an education business and I make YouTube videos. So what does it take to get rich? We first need to cover exactly how most people amass their wealth. There was a study conducted 5 years ago that came up with a few different traits that most people who got wealthy actually had. So what are the traits? Well, I'm gonna list them out. They were not the best in school. They worked some sort of sales job, or owned or worked closely with the founder of a company, worked more than 50 hours every single week, and lastly, they took financial risk to achieve wealth. The reason I'm mentioning this is because you need to understand exactly how it works. To simplify it, rich people generally had to risk something, put in long hours to achieve wealth, and create real value in the world, which is why most of them get compensated heavily for it. If you go study the top 100 richest people, most of them are going to own all the big companies that supply essentials for our planet. They just do it at a way bigger scale, hence their insane net worth. Now that you understand how most people get rich, let's dive deep into how exactly you too can become wealthy, because it's actually not as far-fetched as you may imagine. Before I feed you guys exact money-making routes, let's first cover foundational stuff. The reason only 6% of society has reached that millionaire status is because what's in here, not actually the route they took to get to making all this money. What do I mean by this? Well, I have a perfect example. I have a paid training program to teach people exactly how to run a dropshipping business. Of the people who buy it, not everyone gets rich from it. Some make tons of money and some do not. Why is that? Well, it isn't the material itself. That stuff is proven to work. It has to do with the individual. I've understood that there are a few core ideas that you need to ingrain into your mind and make sure you operate based on them, or else you'll be like the 94% of people who never get rich. Once I go over this, we will then get into the actual ways to generate the money, then how to roll it into investments, and in turn become wealthy and genuinely rich so that you can buy the nice cars, the nice house, travel, and do really whatever the hell you want. So what are the core ideas? Work ethic, motivation, sacrifice, and drive. Now, these are very general words and I'm not going to dive deep into them in this exact video, but for now, just understand you have to be different from everyone else. So what could this actually look like? Perhaps staying up later to work, not going out as much, and creating a daily plan to track those goals as much as possible. I always keep it in my mind that if I want to be part of the 1%, I have to operate differently than 99% of society, which is kind of tough when you're around them nonstop. This one is hard and you won't dial in your core ideas overnight, but with enough focus on them, you will start to change for the better. Real quick, if you guys want to get on the right track to eventually get rich, I have a free dropshipping course below where you guys can learn how to make money with Shopify dropshipping, but do that after the video because I still have some stuff to clarify with you guys. All right, now for the juicy stuff. How do you get rich? Essentially, if you want to become a millionaire rather quickly, you need to first build up some capital, then move it into a business that can make money even if you're asleep, and just reinvest into the business and other side investments. Now, I'm not by any means saying this is going to be easy. However, you can get this done in a somewhat short amount of time if you give it your all. Let's say $10,000 to $50,000 is the short-term goal. Cash money set aside, ready to invest into your future. Best way to do this might shock some of you guys, but it's to just get a job. Sales jobs are the best because then you can sell and make money based on commission. This is what both of my brothers currently do, and they are now earning amazing money, and they're both in their 20s. So to be on the safe side, before you actually start the business, it's important to have one of these jobs that then gives you the funding to excel with your side hustle and make that your true main income source over time. This may mean you have to work for a little while before starting your business, or at least just getting really serious about it. Now that's all great, but what are the actual businesses that you should look into starting that will make you the actual money? For myself, I often analyze the next 5 to 10 years to ensure the business I'm gonna get into has tons of room for growth and is still going to be relevant. This is something you should definitely think about when you are making this decision. If I were in the billboard industry or the physical retail industry, I would be terrified because all of the world is going digital. Lots of businesses are shifting to primarily online, which is forcing tons of brick and mortar businesses to shut down because people have just become so much more focused on ordering things online, getting it shipped to their house, rather than going into a store and buying stuff physically. I don't blame them. I can't personally change how the world is moving and what direction we're going. I can just take note of it and put that into account when I'm picking whatever businesses I want to run, because society will likely keep moving in this direction. You should do the same. Getting rich becomes a whole lot easier when you climb the rope with that in mind. Knowing that, what are some good businesses to start? The first business is, surprise, surprise, e-commerce. This can be Shopify dropshipping, it can be Amazon FBA. You can sell on platforms like Etsy or eBay. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you are selling online. Let's say you sell phone cases on Shopify. You can grow your Shopify phone case store, hire employees to help manage fulfillment, customer support, content creation, and more, and in turn expand and make an insane amount of money. This is exactly what I do, and now I earn really good money from it. This business is for sure scalable, and you can grow it up to $100,000 per month profit and even past that. The next business, a digital marketing agency. This can be with TikTok ads, Facebook ads, email and SMS marketing, Google ads, or anything else. Since a lot of the brick and mortar businesses are forced to go digital, lots of them will have no clue how to run paid ads and stuff like that all online. Since a lot of brick and mortar businesses are forced to go digital, they have no choice but to hire people that are already educated in the space to help them make that transition. This creates an immense opportunity to make some serious cash. Even if you dominate something as niche as selling pool supplies online, you can still make crazy amounts of money if you just tackle that space and become the #1 at it. Now, I do this as well, which is why I'm currently telling you about it. Another business idea, content creation. This one is amazing because so many different companies need it. Having a social media presence online and just in general having content is extremely valuable, and a ton of businesses are still lacking it. What exactly could you do? You could offer services like making videos for ads that they can end up using to sell their product, or you could do something as simple as a commercial to launch their brand or business on social media. Even doing stuff as simple as photos and other content generally that businesses all need. You can scale this business by hiring creators and just giving them the platform to sell and then taking a percentage of their sales. It could be a freelance platform similar to Fiverr, but strictly for content creation. And if you're not good at content creation, editing is a whole new ballgame that still could make you an insane amount of money. You can become an editor for content creators. Shout out to my guy Chris for editing my videos, help them expand and grow their following, and in turn, you will make money, and then you can roll that into even bigger businesses. Overall, you just have to think, what do businesses currently need that they would much rather just pay someone else to do rather than doing themselves? Because again, you will get rich based on how much value you provide to people and the world in general. So at this point, now let's just say you're making $250,000 per year. Congrats, you're getting way closer to that big baller status that you desire. But let's not celebrate too fast. This is honestly where most people up, so listen closely. Do not spend all of your money. This is the time where you get into investments. It is extremely hard to not just blow it all on cars and stupid stuff, and I've done that in the past and I regret it. So just take my word for it and learn from me. Now, what investments should you look into? And I have to throw this out there, this is not financial advice by any means, it's just what I'm currently doing. Here's how I'm currently operating my finances. I have 10% that goes directly towards living expenses, house, cars, food. I have 50% that I just set aside for investments. And then the other percentage I roll into an account that's chilling for taxes and for other random bullshit that tends to always pop up. But what sort of investments? Real estate is something I will be dumping a large portion of my portfolio into in the next 6 to 12 months. I was personally very young when the last recession came around, and I still saw all the fear in the market because my dad was into the real estate business. So I personally saw our lives change, where he went from making amazing money to just come crashing down, and we lost pretty much everything. Knowing that, the best time to buy is when everyone's freaking out. Real estate will be around 50 to 70% of my investments focus. On top of that, another 10 to 15% is set aside for crypto, which is already allocated for. The rest of the money will be put into stocks like Shopify and others. Now, I get some of you guys may have expected some crazy secret strategy to get rich. However, getting rich is actually pretty simple. The hardest part of this whole plan is getting your income up to where you have, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 a month set aside every single month to roll into investments. So I recommend you guys all make a plan and then execute on that plan, and first focus on increasing your income with one of the different businesses I had just mentioned. Now, these numbers may sound completely ridiculous, but they can be achieved, and if you try to talk these numbers out with a normal person, they will not believe you and they will probably laugh at your face. I personally have experienced it, where years ago I explained my crazy ambitious goals to older people and they just absolutely laughed in my face for it. We are not here trying to be normal, so your goals should honestly freak out the average Joe. And I've done this in the past. I probably wouldn't recommend trying to get rich with like $500 in the stock market. I've done it in the past and it just doesn't work out. Statistically, you're gonna lose your money, so just save it. It is a lot smarter to just stack cash and focus on increasing your monthly income. You need monthly cash flow. If it is your true goal to get rich, do it. Other than that, like I mentioned, I have a free dropshipping course below so you can start making money and get on the right path to the riches. Subscribe for more content similar to this, and see ya.